Hello, I am Emily Hill, and I am the camp director for Camp Thunder Ridge.
I'm Daxon Deering, and I'm the program director for Camp Thunder Ridge.
But welcome to Camp Thunder Ridge. We are glad that you picked us. So let's go ahead and launch into it. Just so you are aware, all the information, well, most information we'll be talking about today can be found in the Leader's Guide. That is online on our website, which is listed right there. Feel free to check that out. I would advise that you download a copy of it. Either way, going to camp, it will be updated throughout time, and so I would like every month or so leading up to camp recheck that. But we will be changing a couple of things, nothing too major. But just so you're fully in the loop, I would recommend continuously checking on that. Getting to Thunder Ridge, we are kind of in the middle of nowhere. We're kind of brought by Bryan Head and Parowan. We're in between there. So you can just throw it into Google Maps. Usually you can throw it into a GPS. But if you want more detailed instructions, here is a step-by-step of how to get there. Going from Parowan, it will be like a dirt road on your left. Sometimes it's hard to miss. We'll have a big old sign that says Thunder Ridge up, but sometimes people miss it and have to backtrack. If you've gotten to Bryan Head, you've gone too far. So back up and try again. But it's not that hard to find. We will have a big sign. And again, Google Maps usually does a good job at telling you exactly where to turn.
All right. This is going to be the schedule while you're at camp. There'll be a few changes. Again, there'll be some changes. I'll tell you what will be different, but most of this will be stayed the same. On Monday, we'll have a check-in at camp starting at 8:30 to 12. Let us know if you need to come any earlier or any later. That way we just know what to plan on, especially if you're on dining hall. Beyond that, we'll launch into some short merit badge classes. We'll have a senior patrol leaders and leaders meeting at 7:30, then a fire drill at 8:20, along with a flag ceremony, and then an opening campfire at 9. Tuesday, we have a sunrise hike to Eagle's Nest. Beautiful hike. If we'll hike to the top of this hill and we'll go see over almost the entire canyon. It is a beautiful view. Then we'll go into campsite inspections, flag ceremony, again, merit badge classes, and we'll have lunch. And we have a free time, which scouts can go and various merit badge classes and learn whichever ones they either weren't able to sign up for, or if they want to get more than the 3, they can go sign up for that. Or if you just want to have fun and go to the rifle range, archery range, that sort of thing, you can just go there. Then we have dinner at 6. Then we'll have the Scoutcraft skill events. We are probably going to change that to a camp friend night, which this would be the allotted time that if your leaders had something you wanted to do with your troop that night, that would be doing that then. If you don't have any plans, then your camp friend will have games to play with the troop. Then we'll have another flag ceremony, and then we'll have the Fellowship of the West. It's not the Fellowship of Thunder Ridge, it's the Fellowship of the West that we're changing it to this year. This is a new camp council-wide thing we are getting into this year, and I'm quite excited for it. At 10, we have quiet time, and 10:30 we have lights out. Please be courteous to others. Be mindful that a lot of people want to get up at 6:30 for the hike, or they want to get up earlier for other things. So we just have that a lot of time, so that you guys can please just be quiet and be courteous to your fellow campers. Wednesday we have hike day that will start from breakfast to dinner, and then we have troop activities, flag ceremony, and commissioner campfire that night, which your commissioner will be in charge of, and you will also be able to participate with a song, skit, and run on, which is it's very fun, good for the troops. It's great to see everyone perform. And then from then on, we have Thursday schedule same as Tuesday, except for the evening activities, which will be the camp-wide games and honor trail. Go over those a bit more later. Friday, then we have our closing campfire that night, and then we'll have Saturday checkout begins at 5, and then breakfast will also begin at, I believe, 7:30, same time. Yes, same time, and then that will be the end of the week. And we'll go over further activities a bit later.
Okay, so checking in on Monday, you'll be arriving at camp between 8:30 a.m. and noon. Your troop friend will have everyone up there directing you where to go. The second you drive into camp, we'll have someone directing you up the road. And you will then park at the top of the road, and we will have your troop friend show you around your campsite and show you a little bit around camp. You will then send 1 leader. The second you arrive, you'll send 1 leader to the lodge, which will have people directing you to check in officially. You'll bring your health forms there and leave them there for the week, as well as the roster for your group that week. And then at 7:30 p.m. that night, we will be having a leaders meeting. And then just between your arrival and noon, be setting up your campsite because we're going to launch into it right at noon, starting with lunch. Payments. Half of your total balance for camp is due by May 2nd. This will allow you to register for merit badge classes. The remainder of your balance is due at least 2 weeks before you arrive at camp. If you plan to have visitors, please let them know they need to check in at the office upon arriving at camp. If we see someone who is not checked in, we will be calling law enforcement. We're pretty strict when it comes to security in camp. If there's someone who's not supposed to be there, we will be making them leave. And then we'll get them checked in and we'll settle any costs for like additional meals or anything that can be purchased at the trading post. But we'll just settle that all out as needed. Food options. So we do offer 2 different options for our groups. We have either the dining hall where we'll cook and serve the food and you just have to show up and eat it. Typically it's pretty good. I'm really excited about our kitchen director this year. If you've not yet marked that you'd like to do dining hall, you can add it to your registration online, or you can call the service desk at this number and get it added. It's super easy. Service desk is great. Your other option is you can bring your own food. You just bring your food to camp, you keep it for the week, and you cook it at your campsite. Very much so on you. Just make sure that you're not inviting any bears into camp. And then safety. We have a lot of safety rules in place. We do in scouting, we do at camp. Some of these are like the big ones. We have no climbing trees. Pretty straightforward. We did have a fairly significant forest fire a couple of years ago, and our trees are sturdy. We check them every year. However, limbs may not be the most. So I would recommend no climbing trees. We will enforce that rule pretty heavily. Hammocks, they're not to be strapped to trees. Those are to protect our trees as well as individuals. You must bring your own hammock stand. We will remove those from any trees. Allergies, if anyone in your group has any strong allergies, if they're using our dining hall, please let us know. The best way to do that is to go to this website to let us know. If there's any that are like super intense, do that, but also reach out to me and we will get that worked out. And then be sure to check if there are any fire restrictions in place before arriving at camp. We are pretty south. And we're very high in elevation, so we often have some fire restrictions. So just make sure before you do any of your planning, especially if you're bringing your own meals, that you check that before you get to camp. Firewood. We have so much firewood at camp, so no need to bring your own. It's just for you. Just bring an axe to chop up anything that's already on the ground. And then our last big safety thing with Camp Thunder Ridge in particular is the altitude. We are, depending on where you are at camp, between like 9,400 feet in elevation and 10,000 feet in elevation. We're very high in elevation. And so altitude sickness is a serious issue that we have to deal with out at camp. The best way to prepare for that is make sure that your scouts are well rested and drinking so much water. And then some groups were able to like get up to higher altitudes gradually before camp, and that helped them a lot. However, I would just recommend to make sure that your scouts are drinking a lot of water and be prepared that the first day or two, you might have some decent altitude sickness. A couple other things you'll need to know. There is decent cell phone service at camp with most providers. We haven't had any issues with any providers that I'm aware of.
No.
However, between the front gate of the camp and the top of the camp, as well as the road to camp, there's very limited cell phone service. And so I would recommend you know where you are going and get all communications out before you enter the canyon from Parowan. Vehicles, we have a rough road leading to camp. It's it's a pretty decent length of road of switchbacks, and it's bumpy, and very likely with the weather this year, a lot of it will be worse than it has been in past years. Please, please, please bring an all-wheel or four-wheel drive vehicle. If you have any issues with that, please reach out to me. But I do guarantee that your electric car is not going to make it up that mountain, and we will have to come rescue you. So please just make sure you are prepared with the correct vehicles. It is a rough road. And then also join us for our annual service weekend on June 16th through 17th. Technically, the actual day of service will be on the 17th, which is a Saturday. But if you'd like to stay in camp from the 16th to the 17th, you are more than welcome to. It'll be a great time. It's a free event for all troops and families. Definitely just bring your group and help us with a variety of service projects. A lot of these can be clearing deadwood, it can be working on that road. But really, we're just working to get that camp ready for having you all up there. To learn more and sign up, go to this website right here, just our service website.
All right, more program information. We have our advanced program. Obviously, we teach merit badges, and we have a Trail to First Class program, which is very popular. It just teaches all the requirements for your first class rank advancement, like map and compass skills, first aid, etc., etc. If you want to, please sign up before camp begins. That's your best chance at getting people you want and scouts you want in programs in merit badge classes. Once you get at camp, there's little maneuverability. Like we can change things, but it's very difficult to do the things you'd want to do. We have a recognitions program called the Gilder Award. The Honor Trail Ribbon is something you can work with your troop constantly, like throughout, to earn these points, to earn this ribbon that can go on your trailer or your troop flag. Often we had some people that just collected them on a string. It's honestly really good. It's a very good motivator to just participate in camp activities and just do. We want you to have fun and want you to participate in our program. So if that's just something to recognize that you are actively just participating in the program. Hike day, that's on Wednesday. It starts from breakfast to dinner. That day is kind of like you can go on a hike. We have lots of really great hikes in the area, and we have a lot of areas you can also drive to. Some people will drive down to the local pool and just go with the scouts. It's something that you can just do with your scouts and just kind of go through the area and just have an adventure. That's the plan, and please plan to also bring your camp friend. If you can't, we can work that out, but you'll have one or two camp friends that will accompany you and show you around in certain things. Evening activities, we have some camp-wide games, are extremely fun. We'll play lots of games with the troops. We have the camp friend night, which they'll play lots of games with you if you don't have an activity already planned. We'll also have the fellowship ceremony on Tuesday nights. That will be for senior patrol leaders and adult leaders. Then, Monday night is opening campfire. That will be just you come and sit down at the campfire bowl. The staff will put on a bunch of skits and welcome you to camp, tell a few stories. Then Tuesday night is the fellowship ceremony. Wednesday night, it's commissioner campfires, and as I said before, have all the troops in your commissioner area. They'll each perform a song, skit, and a run on, and there'll be a couple things by the staff, but it's mostly about the troops. And you want all the troops to just kind of participate. It's very fun to see different skits from other troops and just how things can differ. Because often I've seen the same skit, but perform completely different, and it makes me laugh every single time. But then Thursday night we have the Honor Trail along with the campwide games. The Honor Trail, you'll go and along this path and you'll hear 3 stories about the Scout Oath. And that will tell you about like the values of scouting and help emphasize each of the points. Friday night we have a closing campfire. Again, you'll go to the campfire bowl and you will see a lot of skits from the staff that will allow just a good fond farewell from spending a week with you guys. And then checkout is Saturday morning starting at 5, and we'll say our farewells. We'll hand you all the paperwork back and everything like that, and You won't get blue cards. We do a lot of our merit badge classes electronically. So if you're wondering where to grab all my blue cards, they're online. Don't worry, they're all recorded.
We'll walk you through how to access those and everything as well.
Yeah. Morning inspections. They start right after breakfast, around 8:30. What it does is the commissioner goes around with each senior patrol leader, and they inspect each camp. It's a very high energy, high fun thing, and the commissioners inspect things like, do you have good spirit? Are you keeping the camp safe and clean? Now those points will count towards your Gilder Award. So try and score as high as you can. Honestly, very few get 100, but always shoot for that because it is possible. It is possible. Flag ceremonies will be in the mornings and nights. They all begin at like 9:30 and the first one and the ending ones they vary day by day, but generally they are right before the evening activity, like the right before the campwide games or right before the commissioner campfires.
If you're interested in leading flag ceremony, just let us know.
Yes, 100%. If your troop wants to do the flag ceremony, please let us know and let your commissioner know, because more than happy to. Roundtables will start at 11 o'clock on the days we have classes, not Adventure Day, because all the camp will be gone, or most of it at least. Those will be times when I will be leading the roundtable, and I'll be talking to the leaders about what you want to do, like what's going on that day, what you should keep in mind. And I can also catch you up on what your scouts are doing and how they're doing in merit badge classes, if they're progressing, things like that, if you're just a bit worried about how they're doing. Then we have adult leader trainings. We have various trainings. One we have is climb on safety for the climbing at the climbing wall. And we'll also have different trainings as we get more into it. We'll figure out what we have. If you guys have any trainings you want to do, email us like, hey, I want to do this training, first aid training or whatever, and we can get that in the program. If also at roundtables, you'll have to sign up for these trainings, like at Climb on Safety, at the climbing wall, and you'll also be able to sign up your troop for climbing activities during free time. Oh, we have open programs during the free time hours. Ranges are going to be open, like the archery and rifle. We won't have shotgun open, but we will have, unless you're in the merit badge. Unless you're in the shotgun merit badge, just due to the restrictions of shotgun, it is kind of impossible to let anyone other than people working on the merit badge shoot, just because there's a lot of time. There's no more time as it goes for shotgun. Cope will also be open, but you have to sign up for all 3 class periods.
Cope usually for open program will be like free climb. If it's high cope, that's the high rope course. And then low cope, which is like on the ground games, will also be open, but you will have to sign up for that during that roundtable.
And the merit badge, we teach the majority, if not all of them. A few exceptions are rifle, shotgun, and archery. Those are very popular, and we try and keep them open to free time, but just with restrictions to that, we'll have everything else being taught, so scouts can get more merit badges if they want, or they can go and just shoot if they want, or just do what they want, basically. We also have the Trail to First Class being taught during free time, and also Trail to First Class varies day by day on where it's being taught, depending on the skill. And they're always taught third merit badge hour, but the first day is going to be map and compass skills, and the second day will be like safety, everything like that. It differs day by day, and they'll tell you where it is that day in the schedule that we'll give you. We have a nature hike that will be the morning rise, the Eagle's Nest. So I'll teach you about like all the various plants and such we have here. I'll show you about the fire that happened several years ago. But just inform you more about the camp. We have several service and conservation projects that you can also do during free time. Sign up for them, and they'll show you like what to do, how to fix various things around it, or like various service activities that will go towards your beads and your various awards towards the camp. And again, COPE program, if you sign up for it, a day. It takes all three class periods, so just keep that in mind. If you do sign up for it and you have two other classes you sign up for, you'll miss those 2 days to be at Co.
Okay. That's about all that we have for you. However, we imagine that you will likely have questions. If that is the case, please contact us. We are really excited to be working with you. Reach out to us. Here's my email. Here's Daxton's email. You can also have, like, you can call our service desk for our counsel at this phone number. And these are all great ways to reach us. If it's a super specific question about the camp, probably emailing one of us is going to be the better bet. If it's more about like payment or anything like that, you'll want to go through the service desk. Other than that, we really look forward to seeing you at camp.
Yeah.